Hello, my name is Matthias and welcome to my map called Western. This has a Western style to it. I wanted to make like a old town that's slightly falling apart, I guess you could say. Originally, my map was supposed to be pretty open with a very open objective where players can contest, and that would be pretty much the main area where all the combat takes place. However, from the first playtest, I realized that it wouldn't work because it was just way too open, which made some classes, I wouldn't say useless, but definitely not very effective. Classes like Scout and Spy, even Demo and Soldier to an extent, were pretty useless to play because the sniper was just way too overpowered. The sniper, especially engineer was way too overpowered because they could literally place sentries in a corner of the map and the other team just wouldn't get past because the whole map is open, there's no cover, and there's no way to actually get to that sentry to destroy it. So I needed to change that very quickly. I'd done that by adding a mid building, which sort of also wasn't enough because it didn't really prevent spawn camping. So that's another part actually from the first place, was spawn camping. Because the whole map was pretty much open, you could literally spawn camp the other spawn right from the capture zone. I did try and place like I think it was a truck or like a trailer of some sort to stop spawn camping, but all they had to do is turn left or turn right and they will literally be able to see into one of the other two entrances to the other person's or to the other team's spawn. So I had to pretty much make like a mid building which stopped pretty much that from happening, but also didn't stop it because you could literally just walk past the wall and again spawn camp. So now I had to place like a kind of like a team section, I guess, buildings where only if you're from that team you can access it, which I did, which I'm showing you here. That basically prevents sort of spawn camping in a way. You can still spawn camp because if the other enemy gets this choke point, then they could very easily just absolutely destroy the team. However, there are three different, I guess, ways to exit. So it's a bit more difficult for the other team because now they have to basically split into three different groups: one middle, one left, one right, which realistically can work. But the other team can literally just go say, okay, everyone rush through mid, and there's no way that, let's say, 5 soldiers are stopping like 17, 18 people. So there's that pretty much, which kind of like, I guess, definitely helps. There is also an underground area. Again, this wasn't part of my original plan right at the start of thinking of this project. However, after making the first iteration of the map, which was the open area, I realized that there isn't kind of a way where the player can use short-ranged classes like Scout, Spies, Pyros. So I made the underground area just for them. So now the underground area is mainly for short to medium range, mostly short though, I would say. Then the top half would be for like medium to long range, where you can utilize people like Soldier, Demo. Also heavy really isn't long range. He's more short to medium, but he can still be very effective, especially because of the point where it's located. And then the top obviously is for snipers. Also the mid is also for engineers. I forgot to add that, and medics, because medics, well, they're support. They need to be close to the team. Engineers can use the turrets and pretty much block off the mid pretty much. But I did add multiple different routes to it. I've done this to prevent things like pretty much like this from happening, where you can just place, for example, engineer turret, and they block off like a large section of the map. So I've done that. Also for spy, I needed spy to actually be useful on the map. So I've done that by pretty much just adding multiple different routes, not only towards the objective, but just to mid in general, so that they can go to mid, they can go quickly disguise and backstab a enemy. From my playtest recently, I found out that pretty much all classes are useful to an extent. Even snipers, even though snipers have a lot less kind of ground that they can use, they can hold a very important choke point, which can limit the opposition from actually moving into the objective from that side. Overall, I'm very happy with how my map turned out, especially looking from back in October until now. I mean, it's changed quite drastically actually. I mean, from the start, I had quite like an open map with very little cover, and now I have a map which is pretty much the opposite, with a lot of cover with very little open areas. But there is a balance to that, because even though there's less open areas, people like, or classes I should say, like snipers are still engineers, still very useful. So I am pretty happy with how everything turned out. Thank you for listening to my commentary of my level. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.